Melissa Sims, and I've been coming to Dr. Miller since October of 2019. I started coming to him because I was having multiple anxiety attacks a day, and the medication that my psychiatrist prescribed me, it wasn't working, and I just didn't want to live on Xanax the rest of my life. And then when it got bad and I called my doctor and I was like, why? And he basically just let me know there's nothing else I can do for you. And once I heard that, something in me clicked, and I thought, modern medicine is not going to help me. I really need to take this to a new level. And a friend of mine had been coming to Dr. Miller for a time, and I knew that it had helped her. So I called and I said, tell me about the brain guy. and so I came in, and in fact I remember talking to Dr. Miller on the phone and explaining what was going on, and he said, I think I can help you. And when I got off that phone call, I cried because there was hope. And so came in and took the tests, and they were they were horrible. Not the tests in themselves, but the results of showing what it was that my brain was really going through, the legitimacy of the anxiety, and why. And then on top of that, I have a grandmother who died of Lewy body dementia, and I have this terrible fear that I will have that. And I was noticing I was forgetful. At the same time, I was on a lot of medication. I'm diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder. So I just had a lot on my medical plate and in my brain going on, and I needed hope. And so coming here, within 2 weeks, he retook a certain test. I was so amazed with the results of that. Again, went home, cried, just felt like there is really some hope here for me. I was on a lot of medication. I remember Dr. Miller saying, we're going to get you off that medication, and I thought, now wait a minute, we're not going to get that excited about this, because being bipolar, if you are bipolar, you understand how vital medication is, so that I'm not going manic, or I'm not being depressed, getting into a depression. So did all that. I have to say I have not been consistent, and that is something I struggle with, and I need to be more consistent with that. I'll just be honest about that. I ended up in March going to a seminar on health, and finding out that I had, again, a lot of mental illness, but also just a lot of mental baggage, because of medication, because of genetics, and all of that. And so I started on what's called the GAPS diet, GAPS, which stands for Gut and Psychology Syndrome, or Gut and Physiology Syndrome, excuse me. And it's pretty intense. It's a month long of 5 different stages. It's basically considered like a elimination diet, and what it does is, and of course Dr. Miller was able to show, do you realize the gut and the brain are so intertwined with each other? And I had been taking probiotics and stuff, but again, still not really seeing any change in that. once I started the GAPS diet, it's like, I told him today, it's like icing on the cake. It was the icing on the cake that I needed. And I have a son who has been in LA. He lives in LA. He's visiting right now. And he's like, Mama, you're just different. He said, I just wasn't expecting you to be so calm. I'm doing things now I haven't done in years. I paint furniture, and it can be a process. So I just wasn't there to do that. I've taken that back up, loving it. I've never been a cook, never wanted to be a cook, because as we were talking, I realized it was just so much of a process. You know, you have to read the recipes, you have to do, me and numbers just have never gotten along. And my memory has just always been so bad. And now I am actually cooking. Just recently I've cooked so much, and my youngest son, he's at home, he's 20. And I said, man, I've cooked more in the last week and a half, and he goes, than in your whole life? And we laughed about it, but it's kind of been a thing in my home. I just haven't done that. My kids know that. They know me as not being a mom who feeds them properly. I'll just say that. I think some of you understand what I'm saying when I say that. But he's excited about the changes. My other son can see the changes. I feel the changes. And I feel, not just that I feel better, I see life differently. And I feel hope that I'm not going to end up like my grandmother. That I'm going to leave a legacy for my new grandmother.